Hello, welcome to that Double D team. I'm D. This is my top 10 video for my favourite comic book villains. Now, comic book villains, as in like cartoon, superhero, not just DC or Marvel, to limit it down. So, broad range, hopefully a few little unique surprise entries in that list as well. Before I get into my top 10, like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out all those videos on that Double D Team's channel. Also check out our boy JD's YouTube channel as well. Just recently passed 700 subscribers. Let's get him on his way to 8. Yep. Also, Digga's videos, JD's top 10s will all be coming up as well after mine. We've got about 9 topics to come throughout the year, or throughout Christmas and the New Year. So look out for them. Appreciate your comments and feedback, and your own top 10, top 5 lists as well. Anywho, let's give in some honourable mentions first. Yeah, people that didn't make the list, but I wanted to at least let you know, yeah, these are my kind of kids. Brainiac. Now, big Superman fan, especially from Smallville, and I really liked the way Brainiac was portrayed in that series. I thought it was very well done. Didn't match up to Lex, but I liked it. And I believe it was played by, I can't think of his name, but he played Spike in Buffy. So he was a decent actor. And I've not really seen a proper, thorough version of Brainiac in the films yet for me to say, ooh, you make my top 10. So honourable mention. Shredder. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a comic book, cartoon. He's the villain. I was a massive fan of that show. I wanted to give him a little tip of the hat honourable mention. Not Kang, yeah, Krang, Shredder. Cartoons, film. Right, other honourable mention is the Purple Man, Kilgrave. Now this is mainly and only because of David Tennant's performance in Jessica Jones Season 1. Fucking awesome. Well done, David. Right, you were a creepy motherfucker, considering it's a MCU Marvel character I've never heard about or know too much about. So for you to get me interested in him and gripped into him, and then, yeah, that was really good, man. I enjoyed that. Red Skull. Big Captain America fan, and that's his ultimate villain from early 60s onwards, so I had to give him a mention in here. Plus the fact that Ross Marquand has now taken on the role to bring him back into the film universe. We hope to see more of him. Killmonger. Man like MBJ did such a really good job in this role, and the story and the heart and his own point of view going against T'Challa. I thought Killmonger was great, and I think we did an MCU villains list recently. He did make my top 3, and because of that I didn't really want to mention him in here. I wanted to give a few others a chance, but I definitely wanted to give him an honourable mention. That was all the honourable mentions. Let's now get started into the top 10 list, shall we? 10, I have the Saint of Killers. Now this guy I've only became aware of during the Preacher TV series on AMC, produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Go check that out. Great show. Hopefully, when Digga catches up and when I'm up to season 3, we might start doing our reviews again. We will see. But check out all that good stuff on TDDT soon. Vicious, prolific, accurate, non-stop. I won't say too much more because I don't want to give you all the information. I want to tease you with what an awesome character he is, and then let you go and see him. Also, just if you want to do a quick YouTube search, he has like 1 minute, 2 minute scenes in each episode from Preacher. There's actually a cut that someone's done of all his scenes together. It's like 28, 30 minutes, and it is MDK. Wow. 9, we're going to go for Negan from The Walking Dead. Comic book villains, you see, not superhero villains. And Negan's fun. Not only is he enjoyable, but he's got character to him as well, and personality. And he is a villain, but anyone who's known His arc throughout the comics as well also knows that he can be redeemed, and he's possibly got. So he's not just your I'm a bad guy, I'm gonna kill people, blah blah blah. Because all the best villains believe what they do is for the right reasons, and yeah, similar with Killmonger with Black Panther, he thought he had his right to do it, and when he came out of that film, you're like, oh, well, actually, he did have a point. He just maybe went about it in the wrong way, but you can see where he came from, and that dynamic of the villain thinks he's in the right. It's really good. Negan was doing all this for his own thing, thinking it was survival and protection for people, but in essence, people are a commodity, and he was using people for his own gain, probably to keep them safe as well. But the priority was like, he wants to be in charge. Because if there was another Negan doing the same thing, I don't think he'd be comfortable just being part of the routine, part of the furniture. He wanted to be the Negan. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I liked it, very much so. 8. Thanos. Now, I was never the biggest Thanos fan. I was aware of him. I knew about the Infinity Gauntlet storyline and the Infinity Quest, and yeah, big. But then you see him in the film, and his story. This is another one where I think like he's doing it for the good of what he believes, man. No one's got the balls to do it except him. And the performance from Josh Brolin with the motion capture and the emotion display, that I could feel Thanos' pain and angst at wanting to do this and having to give up Gamora, something he loved, when she thought he didn't love anything, and you should have aimed for the head. That type of I thought it was brilliant, and I'm eagerly anticipating seeing the rest of Thanos' story continue in Avengers Endgame next year. And I hope he gets his comeuppance. Who will kill him? I believe I've got Iron Man and Nebula as favourites. Personally, I'd want Cap. Thematically, Gamora or Thor might make more sense. But he got to go. Yeah. After what he did by taking out half of the population, not all population, all life on Earth, not just people, he needs to get some punishment dished out to him, and who better to do it than the Revengers? Thor and his boys, isn't it? But yeah, Thanos, Josh Brolin, really good job, man. Number 8. Number 7. This is a little lower than what I expected it to be, and it's only because he's not been in a film, and my history is only from the comics. But yeah, I should have put him higher, because it's my favourite list, not the best list. He should have made the top 5, but we'll leave that for now. Number 7 comes in Kraven the Hunter. I think DIGA is on a similar mindset with me as well. We both like this character. Awesome. He's one of Spidey's main best villains in the cartoon series TAS back in the day, which I loved and adored. So expect a couple of Spider-Man guys in this list. And Kraven was probably the one, because you had a couple of main villains that were really, really evil. And Kraven was just seen to be like a bad guy because he tried, to kill Spidey. But he's not really a villain. He's just a hunter. He sees a prey that, or a predator prey that he's not seen before, that's dangerous, and he wants to catch it to prove he's the greatest of them all. So he goes after Spider-Man, and eventually Spider-Man survives and gets out of it. But yeah, the comic book storyline as well, I think, is it the last hunt? I won't spoil it because it's worth a read, and it's got a good, nice ending, twist ending. I mean, in the cartoons you had Kraven about how he believed he wanted to go after Spider-Man because of all, you had to hunt him and that, and I'm sure they put in a little love element somewhere, or was that with Morbius, where they blamed him and they went after him. But yeah, for me, the main crux was like, I'm the best hunter in the world. This is a new species for me to go and hunt down and track. I want to do it, man, to prove I'm the best, to prove to myself I can do it, not to people, etc. And that's why I like Kraven, because he wasn't your typical or atypical villain or bad guy. There was a bit of heart, background and character to him. And his battles with Spider-Man were very good. Not only that, but he wouldn't just come on screen and fight. There'd always be a combo, and I like when good guys and bad guys conversate because it gives the audience and the reader like their reasons or explanations why they're going into this sort of conflict or fight, and it can always don't always pay out, but sometimes it does with sort of references in the conversations. You think, oh, that's relating back to this, and that's why he's done this, and yeah. Kraven the Hunter, number 7. 6, Venom. Recently saw the film, liked Tom Hardy's performance. Film was decent. Glad it made money, so there'll be a number 2. I want to see him with Spider-Man, but I don't necessarily need him in the MCU. That being said, let's forget about Topher Grace, shall we? You know, dumbass. To be fair, I like Topher Grace, just he wasn't the right pick or character for Venom. I thought he played Eddie Brock pretty good in the original Spider-Man films. However, Tom Hardy's performance is better. But for me, if you're not going from the comics, like Maximum Carnage, then the TV show, Spider-Man v Venom, then you bring in Carnage and they team up. So he goes from a villain to an anti-hero, and in certain sections of his own storyline and comic book threads, Venom's actually his own hero, especially with when he's hunting down, like, is it Scream and all of the other symbiotes in it? Is it Protector series? They based it loosely on the film as well, which you're taking it from. But yeah, Venom, wow. When you first seen him on screen as well, he was probably the coolest villain you'd seen, and it was like the opposite of Spider-Man, very bad, all black instead of red and blue. On screen, their battles, because Venom usually had the better of Spider-Man most of the time as well, but he just wasn't maybe as smart, which would give Spider-Man the advantage to sort it all out and just try and remove the symbiote. And yeah, Venom is just a badass character to watch. As a young kid watching him on screen as a cartoon character, you're like, yo, Venom. Venom. 5. Probably one of the best written character art villain anti-heroes in comic book history. It's just I don't personally relate to him to have him top 3, but I felt it'd be disrespectful not to include him in my list because I do kind of like him and the performance in the film from Fassbender. So 5, Magneto. Yeah, so the performance from Fassbender I thought was really good. Sir Ian McKellen originally got across, he played the dynamic of beefing with Charles very well, so you got their angst. But him as an actual villain, I don't know, because it's like seeing a 60-year-old guy play a superhero. Yeah, it was okay, but then when you brought it back, First Class and Fassbender and the performance he put in, and I think DIGA mentions this as well in the film, where is it in Apocalypse, where you realise he's then got a new kid and a new family and he loses him, and the pain and the torture. Oh, Fassbender displays it great. I mean, Apocalypse isn't the greatest film, but whatever film you put Fassbender in, he'll deliver. So all you Assassin's Creed haters out there, come at me. But Magneto's history, like partners with Eric, has his own idealism. They both want the same thing for mutants, but they want to go about it in a different way. Like Charles believes they can all coincide. Eric's like, nah man, they want to get rid of us, so let's get rid of them. They want to fight against us, let's fight. We're genetically enhanced, we're mutants, we're both on the food chain. We've evolved, they won't. Let's go at it. And then their fight as well over like the soul, or not soul, but like the control of like Raven, Mystique, good side, bad side, you're going to work for, you're going to choose. And yeah, Magneto is a very, very well written villain. Not my favourite of all time, but he deserved to be in my top 10 list. Maybe not as high as this, but I put him this high just to let the influence of him as well be poignant, because this is a classic villain. 4, Loki. Probably the most favourite villain for most MCU fans, especially because it's Tom Hiddleston, and he's a villain, but he's also an anti-hero. And in Ragnarok 3, at the end, he's actually a hero. He comes and rescues his people after he tries to betray Thor, so anti-hero. Prior to him getting Thor chopped and trying to kill him in the previous films, villain. The arc. Tom Hiddleston is charming and charismatic on screen as well. And I recently actually watched Thor 1 again, and his scene with Anthony Hopkins with Odin, where he's telling him about how you're Loki's son and you weren't naturally of Asgard, and then they're having an argument, and the emotion and pain that Hiddleston portrays in his face was had me glazed, had me glassy eyed, like, oh, you're putting in a performance here, man, come on, because I know Anthony Hopkins is about to fall in a coma right now, and from the argument you're having, so I know what's coming, and you're feeling the pain, you're like, oh, Loki. And then Loki also gives you a lot of light-hearted moments as well. He's very comedic, very funny, he's very talented as well with his weapons, and he's a competent fighter. He's also evil, sadistic, manipulative, but also after Infinity War, R.I.P., he realised his love for Thor was true. We always thought it was a love-hate relationship, and you're right on the edge of loving him and hating him. So in Infinity War as well, when he calls himself Odin's son or son of Odin, instead of like son of Laufey, he's actually coming to terms with the fact he's an Asgardian. He loves his brother, he loves the fact who he is. He's coming to terms with all of this, especially because of Thor 3, when Odin's passing away. He says, come here my sons, plural. And Loki even looks at him like, you are classing me as your son. After everything I've done to go against you, betray you, try to kill you, you still love me as a son and class me. Yeah, brilliant performance, man. I like Tom Hiddleston, really like Loki. You're always hoping Loki will come good, but you've got in the back of your mind, you think, oh, he's going to betray me here. So he keeps you on your edge of the seat a little as well when you watch him. So Loki, top 4. Top 3. Now this, I'm very happy with my top 3. And I'll put this top 3 up against any other top 3 from DIGA, JD, or any of you. 3. Lex Luthor. One of the best villains, super villains ever. When you look at him as a man going up against a god of Superman, now you understand because it's jealousy, but the way he manipulates the people as well. I think there's like a Lex President storyline as well, where he's going after Superman, and for me, the films were decent, etc. Comics, not bad. Smallville gets slated because Superman isn't Superman until the end of the show. Forget that. The actual character arcs of each of the villains, especially Lex, Brainiac, Clark, and then his relationships with Lana and Lex, it's the best superhero TV show I've seen. I was slightly hesitant in saying that because I had to think, because some of the Netflix Defenders ones are pretty good, but they haven't finished, plus they didn't go for 10 seasons. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not bad, but it's not the quality wise, and I don't watch any of the DC shit because it's too villain of the week for me. So yeah, Smallville, I'm going to go up there. I mean, I might have forgotten something. There might be a stray comic book adaptation that turned into a great TV show, but for the moment, like, you could say Walking Dead if you want, but that quality is waned and slipped, and it is still going. So if you want to come up with that argument, that's fine, but Smallville for me, brilliant. Michael Rosenbaum's performance as Lex Luthor, I thought, almost stole the show, but I had such a crush on Kristen Kirk that she took my attention every time she came on scene. But Lex, badass, as you said, human going up against a god, comes out on top most of the time, whether this is because Clark and Superman are kind of Boy Scoutish, or because they're too vanilla, neutral and good and won't do the necessary thing to get them over. I'm unsure, but Lex is someone not to be messed with and taken seriously with. Hopefully Eisenberg continues performance in the future Justice League collaborations, because his gathering together of maybe the Injustice League or Justice League Dark is going to be interesting to go forward. I'm a big Eisenberg fan as well. From anyone who's ever watched any of these videos, you know about our Pokemon evolution. Syrah, Eisenberg, Sandberg, Blastoise, Squirtle, or Turtle. Yeah. Anywho, that number 3 was Lex Luthor. 2. Another Spider villain, probably the main Spider-Man villain for me, the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. Now, I recently, technically yesterday, watched Spider-Man Into the Universe, and Fisk was in that and he was pretty good. I recently completed the game last month of Spider-Man PS4. Amazing. Not only game, but the storyline in that game is one of the best Spider-Man stories I've read, seen, viewed or played. TV, film, comic, cartoon. Very well done, and I absolutely loved it. Wilson Fisk played a pretty decent part in that. But the original came from the animated series, and seeing him in there as the Kingpin trying to organise a lot of stuff to take down Spider-Man, especially with a lot of gangs, a lot of goons, but sometimes as well comics maybe originator of Sinister Six, etc. But Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk in Daredevil season 1, 2, 3, and Punisher. Fuck right off. What a performance from Vinny. Like, he makes Kingpin steal every scene on screen, and that's saying something considering Daredevil's the best show on Netflix, and the performance from Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock is epic. Amazingly good. And I don't want to hyperbole too much or say too much about him, because obviously I don't want to say too much and then it just glosses over people, you don't take in the facts. But Kingpin, bam. Daredevil season 3, I don't want to do any spoilers, so please watch that. Anyone who's seen Daredevil season 1 and 2, you already know about his beef with Matt and how he wants to try and take Matt down, Foggy down, everyone close to Daredevil down because he went at Vanessa. Because at heart, Kingpin's a big softy, man. He's just lost and alone, but he's in love with Vanessa, the one true person he's only ever loved. So if anyone tries to threaten her or go against her, you're getting car doors slammed into your head. Daredevil season 1 flashback. And now, finally, the number 1 on my list of favourite comic book villains has to be the Joker. A DC guy topped my list, being a Marvel guy. That's how good this guy is. Now, you think Heath Ledger is scary, you just Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill. I don't want to mention Leto and Phoenix, but we can do. Now, animated, I'm aware a little, comics, etc., films. My cousin Dylan, hold tight cuz, gets me onto like that Batman shit and how good Mark Hamill is as the Joker. So, being Luke and the Joker, this guy's comic book royalty, Comic Con royalty, geek, legend, status. Wow. And the performances in like Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, etc. His storylines that they put across, really good, especially like the death of Jason Todd as well, where obviously Joker kills him. Then you had, is it the Killing Joke where it's switched? And you've got where Bruce, is it Martha Wayne becomes the Joker? And Bruce Wayne becomes, Thomas Wayne becomes Batman because Bruce dies in that situation rather than the parents. Yeah, I'm aware of it. I've not read it because I've got a huge comic book backlist to get through and it's taking me so long. I'm procrastinating. However, Heath Ledger, The Dark Knight, that alone puts him top of my list, that performance. But knowing the history, background of the Joker just added so much weight to that performance, and having it be Nolan and having it as in a dark themed world rather than bright and corny as we'd seen in Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, just had such an impact. And I think, as we mentioned before, that when the intro to that film was all the Dark Knight with the robbery and the hospital blow up scene. Yeah, you want to see magic trick, make a pencil disappear. You want to know how I got these scars? My dad was an angry man. Came home one day and he put a razor blade in my mouth And he said, why don't you smile? Oh, I need to go and rewatch that film again, man. What a performance from Heath. Shout out, man. I'm pretty sure the Joker is going to be in the top 10 list of most people. I'm hoping it's in the top 5 for DIGA and Joel. And anyone who doesn't have him in their top 5 list in the comment section. Why? Well, please explain why. Let me know, because I am confused. Anywho, that is my top 10 list of my comic book villains. Hope you've liked the list. Share back yours in the comment section below. Let me know what your top 10 is, top 5, or even just your favourite if you want to get one point across and drill it home. Let me know if you agree with mine. Brilliant. Let me know why. If you didn't, did anyone I missed that you felt should have been on there, including my honourable mentions? Let us know whether we're on the comment section below, Facebook or Twitter, because the link and sections are all in the information bio section. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit up all that good stuff on that DEE team. Lots more videos to come. Until next time, deuce.